What's going on, guys? My name is Raw, and in today's video we will be going through the roles I think would best suit you for GMs and like endgame content with the seasonal weapons and the Vault of Glass raid weapons. So we're going to go through the seasonal weapons first, and then we're going to go through the Vault of Glass weapons right after. So starting off, we have the Chroma Rush. Personally, I think the best perk combinations for the Chroma Rush would be, for me, Arrowhead Break, either a pendant or tac mag. We also have Subsistence and Rampage. This is like the god roll for me. I have ammo, well, I have more ammo capacity. I don't have to reload as much with Subsistence, and then I have that extra damage stacking on me. And as you can see from this, I get a 33% damage stack from a Rampage. So this is like the roll for me. But you could also go Feeding Frenzy Kill Clip. That could also work. Feeding Frenzy Kill Clip with, let's say, either probably tac or extended or even a pendant still. It really doesn't matter. Or Flared Mag Roll would work as well because it increases your reload speed. So you could go maybe Fluted in this last barrel too. Maybe Fluted because it increases your range. So I'd say Fluted, Flared, and then Feeding Frenzy Kill Clip. Another good roll for PvP might be Heating Up and Kill Clip. Might be Tunnel Vision Kill Clip. That might be a good roll. Dynamic Sway Tap the Trigger may also be good for PvP. Something I'm interested in trying though, maybe would be Arrowhead Tactical Mag or Pendant Mag. Feeding Frenzy Wellspring or Subsistence in Wellspring, because it gives me my abilities back. That could also be good. The Farewell Sidearm. So this one has a few perk combinations that I like. I mean, I'm always gonna go for Arrowhead Break because I like that recoil direction buff. See, it goes from 96 to just flat out 100, and I get bonus handling from it. So Arrowhead Break is gonna always be an option for me. That's just what I like personally, is Arrowhead Break. In terms of the mag, I mean, you could go appended, you could go Tactical Mag or Extended Mag. Those are always good, but be mindful that you lose that reload with Extended Mag. So I'd say preferably I'd go Tac Mag or Pendant because you don't have a lot of penalties. Next, I'd probably go Subsistence and Frenzy, or maybe Subsistence and Vorpal Weapon. Full Auto and Multi-Kill Clip. I'd probably go with that. Maybe Rangefinder Frenzy, maybe Rangefinder or Vorpal Weapon could work too. Vorpal Weapon because you get that extra 15% damage increase to like majors and bosses and stuff like that. Rangefinder Vorpal Weapon could work too. Tunnel Vision and Multi-Kill Clip could work. Reloading after defeating a target greatly increases your target acquisition and aim down sight speed, and then you get that extra damage from Multi-Kill Clip. That could work too, but for PvP, maybe even PvE too. But Frenzy for sure. If you have Frenzy is definitely going to be a big boost for this sidearm, especially with sidearm being in the unstop category this season. So I mean, like this sidearm for me personally, I like Rangefinder and Frenzy. That's what I like. So Arrowhead Break, Appended Mag, Rangefinder, and Frenzy is what I feel comfortable with, is what I like the most. And I think my roll has a handling masterwork, and I put like a major spec on it or something, you know, for that extra major DPS. Moving on from that, we have the Gridskipper. A lot of people have been talking about the Gridskipper lately, and I've gotten a few rolls that are just sitting in the vault. But I think personally for me, a Gridskipper would benefit from Fluted Barrel, Armor Piercing Rounds, either Tunnel Vision, Killing Wind, or Heating Up. Not Moving Target. Moving Target is good. Moving Target, I like Moving Target for PvP. Moving Target is a pretty good PvP perk. But for PvE specifically, I'd rather go Tunnel Vision, Killing Wind, or Heating Up. Potentially Heating Up, but Tunnel Vision and Killing Wind for sure. And then Frenzy, High Impact Reserves, or Multi-Kill Clip. Maybe Adrenaline Junkie if I have a grenade build to give me that extra boosted damage. But definitely for sure armor piercing, fluted barrel, and probably even arrowhead break to give me that extra recoil direction. But for this, it only boosts me up to 85, so I'm not really worried about the recoil direction here, even though it is kind of a crazy pulse rifle. It's similar to Claws of the Wolf from Iron Banner, but I'd rather take fluted barrel for that extra boost in all those stats, range, handling, and stability. Armor piercing obviously for the over penetrating rounds. And yeah, so those are the perk combinations I think would work best for Gridskipper PvE wise. PvP wise, I'd say you could use what, Killing Wind High Impact Reserves or Tunnel Vision Multi-Kill Clip, maybe Heating Up for the PvP side. And you know, you have your extended mag, you have your barrels and all that stuff, but I think armor piercing rounds would be something that I would want for Gridskipper. And then you could turn around and pop on a stability masterwork if you happen to roll stability masterwork. That would just make the weapon even more stable, and we all know it needs it. You could probably put on a handling masterwork as well, and maybe a targeting adjuster. Maybe a targeting adjuster or a counterbalance stock mod would work as well. But for PvE, I definitely put like a major spec on this thing, just for that extra bump in damage. So next we have the Shattered Cipher. Now this thing, see, this archetype, this 900 round per minute archetype isn't the best machine gun archetype in the game currently, but there are some nasty rolls that you can get on it. I think I have an arrowhead break, where is it, appended mag, and then I have auto loading and rampage. This isn't, the perk pool and the weapon archetype isn't as good as, let's say, the corrective measures archetype. Another possible good roll would be what, tunnel vision adrenaline junkie or under pressure rampage. That'd be another good roll, and you'd put tactical mag on it, or you'd put, you know, something to give you a little more range or a boost of stability like full bore, fluted barrel. And then this thing also comes with small bore, so that'll also give you a bump. But mainly like arrowhead break, small bore, and fluted barrel are the ones that I'm looking at personally. Let's see, for surrounded, I mean, you could go with surrounded, but you'd lose out on just a base rampage stack from just killing enemies and not having to be surrounded by them. So I'd say rampage is the better bet than surrounded. Adrenaline junkie, of course, if you have a grenade build, you can swap out for adrenaline junkie. If you're using Styx's turret or, you know, hunter grenades or whatever you're using, adrenaline junkie is always an option. But you just want to make sure you have as much ammo capacity as you can with this machine gun. I mean, it already has 82 in the mag with what I have right here, and it can definitely get into the 100s because of its archetype. We move on to the shotgun, the Sojourner's Tale. Let me see. Yep, it's a precision frame shotgun, so I definitely go for arrowhead break just for that extra recoil direction. It has assault mag. I definitely go for assault mag for this, just for that increased rate of fire. And then let's see, I'd say I'd go for something like what, maybe auto loading holster and frenzy. Yeah, auto loading holster and frenzy, or maybe rapid hit and dragonfly, something fun to play with, or maybe tunnel vision and dragonfly. It's a precision shotgun, and like the perks aren't really that great on the thing, so it's not really going to be used for endgame play. Like, there are only certain shotguns in the meta right now because of their perk pools. Like, you know, you have first in last out, you have heritage that can roll reconstruction recombination, and then you have first in last out that can roll auto loading holster and vorpal weapon. This weapon can't get any of that. The best it can get is auto loading holster and frenzy, so you'd have to wait for frenzy to proc so you can do more damage with this thing. I mean, I would chalk this weapon down as like a fun weapon, not really something you could take into the meta. There are plenty of good rolls that you can have on this thing. So something I'd like, let's say we had volatile launch, spike nades or blinding nades, ambitious assassin, and vorpal weapon. This would be one of my ideal rolls. For me, you could also get slide shot vorpal weapon with spike nades or blinding nades. That could also work. Concussion grenades aren't bad at all, but I'd rather have blinding grenades personally, just so like I can keep the enemies at bay in like harder content, so I can recollect myself and make sure I stay in the fight. Now also, linear compensator isn't bad because it gives that boost to blast radius. So linear compensator could also be in one of those first trees. So this perk combination right here could be good. Linear compensator, spike nade, slide shot, vorpal, or you could have ambitious and vorpal, or what's not too bad is field prep. Field prep isn't bad at all. It gives you that increased reload while crouching. Now, a lot of people underestimate field prep. Field prep reloads your weapons insanely fast while you're crouching. So don't overlook field prep. Another perk in the last slot could be Danger Zone. Activates within 9 meters of the enemies. So that essentially means that Danger Zone is going to be procced all the time. The blast radius is increased, and let's say you have blinding grenades on. So that blind is going to affect more enemies within that radius. So I'd say another good perk combination would be what? Either Ambitious Assassin, Blinding Nades, and Danger Zone, with either linear compensator or volatile launch that increases your blast radius. That could also be a good perk combination, or field prep to get that fast reload. I mean, you could go for slide shot as well, but personally I think I'm not going to be sliding around with this certain setup a lot. I don't slide around with grenade launchers personally for my playstyle, but I think for someone who does, this would be an ideal role as well.